Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Now for today's video it is going to be my Premier League predictions for the 21-22 season. So who will win the league? I'm just going to run through where I think each club is going to finish this season. So if you do enjoy this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already and be sure to comment down below whether you agree with my predictions or not, and let me know how you think the league is going to finish comes the end of the season. And can I just say I'm super excited for the season to return. The first game is on tonight, Arsenal versus Brentford, and I'll definitely be watching that. Obviously predicting Brentford to win. I feel like Arsenal, we'll get into it, but yeah, without further ado, so to start with, I'm going to give you who I think is going to finish in the top 4, but instead of going from number 1, I'm going to start from 4th and then work my way up, and then we can fill in the blanks afterwards. So I think that Man United are going to finish 4th. They made like a few signings with Sancho and Varane, so I feel like they're definitely going to be much better than they were last season, even though they finished 2nd. But it was like, it was kind of close, but not, it was close and then it wasn't close. So I feel like Man United, now obviously them finishing 2nd and then me predicting them to finish 4th this season is probably like a massive drop off. But I just feel like all the other teams, like I will get into it, are just going to be much stronger than Man United. And Man United have always been a bit iffy, like the games they should win, they don't win. But they're going to be definitely improved. I feel like every other team that I go into who is higher than Man United is going to be improved. And yeah, I just feel like Man United will finish 4th. Moving on to who I think is going to finish 3rd, I've gone with Liverpool. I feel like definitely with Van Dijk coming back, that is going to be a massive help to them as well. I haven't really seen, I feel like didn't they sign another centre back or something? Like towards the end of the season, I think it was. I can't exactly remember what his name is. But I feel like with Liverpool, they finished 3rd last season, didn't they? And I just feel like, and they had loads of injuries last season, but I don't think they're gonna finish higher than 3rd. I do think they could be potentially in the title race, but I think when it comes down to it, they will be finished 3rd again. Moving on to who I think will finish 2nd, I've gone with Chelsea. Now I know people are gonna be like, oh, but Lukaku, you know, yeah, like I'll get into that. For me, I don't think Chelsea will win. I think they'll definitely be in a title race. There'll definitely be a tight title race between Chelsea and whoever I put top. But for me, I don't see them winning it. Obviously they'll be a lot closer than Tottenham and that, but I can't see it happening. I may be wrong. Obviously Lukaku signed, a brilliant signing for them, the amount of goals he scored, like Euros and stuff, and like Inter Milan. Definitely going to be an improvement on Timo Werner, like that's a massive upgrade. But it's going to be tight. Like I'm not saying it won't be, but I just have this feeling that Chelsea are going to come 2nd. Now, moving on, who I think is going to win the Premier League. I have gone for Man City. I feel like they won the league last season. They've just signed Jack Grealish. Harry Kane is a possibility. And I just think they're going to do it again. I just feel like they're going to be dominating the next few years. So for me, Man City are going to win a league. Obviously, I hate saying that because it's always seems to be Man City. But I just can't see any other team than Man City winning it. I mean, it would be nice to be surprised, but I'm just going to go with Man City. I think it's going to be a tight race between Chelsea and Man City. But I think Man City will just about come on top. I don't think there'll be a lot of points in it. I feel like it was going to become like a Man City-Liverpool title race situation like it was. Not last season, was it last season before? Or it might have been a season before that when there's like 1 point in it. That's what I feel like it's going to be with Man City and Chelsea. Moving on to who I think is going to finish 5th, I've gone with Tottenham Hotspur. my team, obviously. Yeah, I feel like we finished 7th last season. We've made a few decent signings so far, and I definitely think with a few more signings, we definitely have the capabilities of finishing 5th. Obviously, we'd rather finish in top 4, but I just think top 4 is it's too tough to ask for Tottenham this season. But I do think we'll finish higher up than we did last season, and 5th is the best that I feel like we can do. So who knows what's going to happen, but I'm definitely thinking Tottenham 5th. But just definitely needing a few more signings to make sure we get that. Moving on to 6th place, I've gone with Leicester. The last 2 seasons, they've been in Champions League spots for the most amount of time than any other team. So for me, I just feel like they're gonna finish a bit lower. I don't know, I feel like the last 2 seasons may get to them because it's like how it's happened twice in a row. So it's kind of like I feel like because all the other teams have like definitely improved, and like obviously they've made their signings as well, but I just feel like they're going to drop off a little bit and finish 6th. Now moving on to 7th, this might be a surprise for some people, but I've gone for Aston Villa to finish 7th because the signings they made, obviously they lost Jack Grealish, which is going to be a massive loss to them, but the signings they've made with that money from selling Jack Grealish is insane. Like they've made more signings than Tottenham have. They've made a lot of more signings than most teams. So I'm predicting Aston Villa. They're gonna obviously massive loss with Jack Grealish, but I don't think it's gonna affect them that too much because of the players that they've signed. And obviously, it's not all guaranteed to like work out for them. But I can just see them finishing 7th, and that for Aston Villa is insane. From like not last season, but the season before that when I'm close to relegation. I definitely think that this is they're gonna have a big season. I can just feel it. Now moving on to 8th place, I've gone with West Ham. Obviously they had that insane season last season when I feel like that last season they got lucky. I feel like because they had like Jesse Lingard, and he definitely helped them a lot, scoring a lot of goals. Then they kind of went on a little run, and I don't think it's going to happen again this season. But I don't think they're going to be too far from where they were last season. But I don't think they're going to finish any higher than 8th, to be honest. And that's not me being like salty or anything. I just feel like they're not going to be as good as they were last season. But, you know, who knows. Moving on to 9th place, I've gone with Leeds United. They had a brilliant first season in the Premier League. Obviously they beat Man City in that, and they I don't know too much about who they've signed or anything, but I just feel like they're going to finish 9th. Yeah, I don't think they're going to get any higher. I know Leeds fans are like super excited and they're like, oh, we're going to have a much better season than like previous, but I think top 10 for Leeds is probably the most that they're going to get. But I haven't heard about any signings they've made, so I'm not entirely sure what's happening in that situation. 10th place. This is gonna be funny. I've gone with Arsenal. Yeah, I've seen their pre-season, and obviously it's just pre-season. It doesn't really mean that much, but from what I've seen, they've not improved from last season, and that's saying something because they were terrible last season. Like I know Tottenham were like towards like the second half of the season, but okay, this is about Arsenal right now. But I don't know. I know they signed Ben White. They're looking to sign Odegaard as well, again on a permanent deal. But from what I've seen of them so far, I can't see them finishing any higher. I feel like it's gonna be another season without any European football. It's just gonna be the same old rubbish that we see with Arsenal, which I like. It's funny, but yeah, I'm probably gonna get loads of comments like like just saying stuff, and I'm like, yeah, but like we beat you in pre-season, like you lost against Chelsea, you lost against us, you know. they weren't that impressive. Like the only player who like sort of impressed me in like their preseason game was Lacazette, and he didn't even score. So you know what I mean. I don't know who else they're gonna sign. The only ones I know is Ben White, and then there's Odegaard potentially. But that's just it at the moment. Yeah, I'm not predicting good things for Arsenal. I just think it's gonna get a lot worse. Moving to 11th place, I've gone for Brentford, who are Arsenal playing tonight. Yeah, I've always liked the look of Brentford. I always thought they're a good side and they're good enough to be in the Premier League. So I'm too excited to see them in the Premier League. I'm just excited to see them play. And I don't know who they've got in their team, like, too much. I don't know too many of their players or anything. Obviously, we played them last season in a game, and I thought they were quite impressive. So I think they're going to do quite well. I feel like they're going to be like a dark horse and might just finish just outside the top half. So yeah, so moving on to 12th place, I've gone with Everton. Obviously they have brought in a new manager with Ancelotti going to Real Madrid. So I think they're going to be average. I don't think they're going to be as good as they were at the start of last season compared to this season. I think they're going to have a drop off. I think they're not going to be as good. I just think because with a new manager and everything. Moving on to 13th place, I've gone with Southampton. They did just transfer Danny Ings, which I was kind of surprised about, kind of not. You know, and there's rumours about James Ward-Prowse as well. Potentially Tottenham are like linked with him as well. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with that. And I feel like with him, if he went, it'll be kind of similar situation with Jack Grealish and how he left Aston Villa. I feel like Southampton are going to be like average, like how they normally are. I don't think they're going to get far. So I think 13th is probably the best. And on to 14th place, which is I've gone with Norwich City. They won Championship last season and they're back up. Obviously, Oliver Skip was on loan last season and he tore it up. I don't think they're going to be close to relegation. I don't have that feeling. So I think they're going to finish, you know, mid-table, but sort of the bottom half of the table. But I think we're coming back just up in the Premier League. Staying up is the most important thing. So that's where I feel like Norwich City will finish. Now moving on to 15th, we're going with Wolves, which is kind of like a massive drop off compared to like where they could have been. Obviously, Nuno is now Tottenham's manager and left Wolves. So it'll be interesting to see how Wolves cope. We've been linked with some of their players. I have no idea what's going on with their players. But for me, they dropped off last season. Yeah, I'm predicting a hard season for Wolves. So 15th. Moving on to 16th, I've got Watford, just come up again. I think they're going to struggle as well, but stay up. I feel like they're going to struggle, but stay up. So yeah, I'll just stick them in 16th place. Moving on to 17th, I put Brighton. I'm kind of undecided with like well put Brighton because I feel like they're better than 17th, but they just haven't got the goal scorers to ensure that they finish higher. So I just feel like they're going to have a good season compared to how that they play, but I just think the results are not going to go their way, and they're going to finish bottom half of the table, but just about to stay up. I don't think they're going to go down. Now moving on to who I think is going to get relegated, which is interesting. So in 18th place, I put Burnley. I feel like this season is going to be the season where they go down. I was going to say finally, but I'm not like bothered about Burnley. But I just think this season is going to be the season that they get relegated. They've gotten so lucky in the past with previous seasons and Sean Dyche, you know, always managed to stay up and that. But I just think this season they're going to get relegated. I can just see it happening, which is going to be, will probably be a shock to a lot of people, but I'm predicting Burnley to go down. Moving into 19th place, I've gone with Newcastle. Again, I think they're going to get relegated. I just have this feeling as well. Obviously last season they weren't that great. They struggled quite a bit for like the first half of the season. They might potentially just sign Joe Willock, which will be a good sign for them, for like Arsenal. But I don't think it's going to be enough, to be honest, and I can see them dropping down. Now moving on to, I think, who's going to finish bottom and also get relegated. You all know it is Crystal Palace. Yeah, I feel like with Roy Hodgson, like, he's left, so, and I've been, like, I wouldn't say I've been impressed with Crystal Palace in the past, but I just can't see them being good enough to stay up this season. And I think if Zaha doesn't leave this season, then if they get relegated, he ain't gonna go Championship. Like, he's gonna want it out of Crystal Palace. I can see that happening. But for me, Crystal Palace are gonna finish bottom. So with relegation, we've got Burnley, Newcastle, and Crystal Palace. That's who I'm predicting to get relegated. If you do agree with me, or if you don't agree with me, or you have any other, what are your predictions, comment them down below. I'm super interested to find out what you guys think, and who you think is going to win the league, who do you think is going to get top 4 and all that. But yeah, so there we go. There is my Premier League 21-22 predictions, and I'm excited. It'll be interesting to like look back at the end of the season and see if I was right with any team whatsoever. But yeah, I do really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe for more content, football content, Tottenham content mostly. And I'll see you guys next time with a brand new video. Bye guys.